Okay, what up, other people? It's your boy Drakare, the Gospel Freak. I'm live and Unstoppable Media with no other person but Eclipse Nkasi. How you doing today?
I'm great, my G. I'm great, my brother. We? Alright.
So, where do I start? You're a producer, you're a singer, rapper, marketer, creative.
It's a long list.
It's everything. List is on.
Yeah.
Where should we start from? So, which should be number one in scale of preference?
I'm human, so let's start from there.
Human number one, number two,
Male.
number three.
I'm sorry, man.
I can't go with that. It's Igbo, number three. Okay, so it's an honor having you here.
It's great to be here, man.
Yeah, permit me to call you a Christian creative.
Of course, I mean, I am Christian, so regardless of how we want to move the labels around, you get. So I'm Christian, I'm creative, so
All right, so as a Christian creative, you've been in the space for over a decade.
Yes.
Unofficially.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I have just I think we should just keep this answers straight because if I confuse some people's confusion, So. But yeah, I have been making music for over a decade now.
How's the journey been so far?
It's been turbulent.
What's
this is the part where people try and say, it's been great, it's been changing. Like, yes, I've done a lot of fun things, but I feel like there's been a lot of moments to learn from. So there's been a lot of highs, there's been a lot of lows. And,
what has been the greatest challenge for you?
I think it's life itself. While we're trying to figure out the art, I think that life just seems to always obstruct or show up in some way. And I'm learning, or I have learned now that it's all part of the process. You can't be rid of it. So you always have to have a plan that factors, these things in. And that's why I tell you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. So because a lot of times things will happen. And I think that the thing about being a creative is that it gives you a certain sense of control, meaning that you can create something. But and it's a good feeling, it's a good rush, but you're gonna have to learn that more than what you think you can do. There's a lot of other forces at play. There's a lot of people to also interact with, and there's just bigger things to also keep in mind as you work and try to go through your career as a whole. Yeah.
You ain't never gonna take my life. You ain't never gonna stop my shine. You ain't never gonna fool me twice. On God, I am not that nice. You ain't never gonna steal my thunder. You ain't never gonna stop my cruise. Real talk, homie, that's on God. Nah, bro, that's on Zeus. Cause I gotta be the best of them, the president by excellence, and that's a fact and testament. You ain't never gonna get it if you never been in better than this cycle where we only let the best of friends. Cause I survived 2020, so my grind's very plenty. I'ma grind, I'ma get it, cause I'm high Bonafelli. I'm the real Machiavelli. If it's up for getting, I'ma get him till the break of dawn, or till it's I'ma get him. Better not forget it, cause I'm rocking denims doesn't mean that I ain't suited for the Dylan.
So, what has been your greatest strength, in putting all your talents together and to keep moving with them?
I think for me, there's two key things, right? There is definitely the God factor, but there's also a project management aspect to it where I try and plan and put things together. But the reason why it's important to mention the God factor is that there are moments where I don't know if it's because I'm the smartest guy in the room. I know that there's just times when I'm able to just survive through the times and still be able to hit certain marks, in spite of all the struggles that might come. So that's important to me.
So let me just ask this. Sometimes is it stressful being the smartest guy in the room?
Oh, that's a burden. It's a burden. All right. So I don't think I'm always the smartest guy in the room, but a lot of times. Okay. So let me put it this way. I have worked very hard at my craft. I think that for a very long time I would be the most dedicated person when it came down to making music. My parents weren't really, like most people, my parents weren't comfortable with me making music, and I moved to Lagos on my own. So I had a lot at stake, and I worked very hard, at my art. But I found that most times when I was with other creatives, people very quickly felt very intimidated. Even when I was only looking to, collaborate or work together, people very quickly just felt like, hey, this guy, you should probably stay away or whatever it was. And I know that I can be assertive. I know I have a very strong personality, and even when I don't mean to, certain people who may have insecurities might, take that away. Yeah. So, but how do I apologize for being just being me? Exactly. So I try sometimes to intentionally, manage relationships, but it's only so far that sometimes you can squeeze yourself just because somebody else doesn't see their own value.
That's true.
Yeah.
What has been your highest point in your music career?
Highest point? Whew, that's hard. I think I never really thought about that. But because there were times when I thought that what I wanted to hit was something, but there's other times when it was something else.
So it kept...
it depends. Yeah, it depends. Just different context to what I thought was important to me at different times. So it's very, very tricky to answer. But I guess I would say that nothing has trumped the feeling of now being able to make music, put it out, and have people give me feedback and send me messages of how the song has helped them through really tough times and really trying times. And I think that is what has given me the greatest sense of satisfaction. Yes, I think when it's all said and done.
So you have moved from so many phases in your music career. Let's say, like, I'll put it this way: you have lived so many lives. How are the phases like for you? Let's follow us through it.
I mean, first, I feel like half the time you don't realize they're happening till after they're done. You know, I like to say we live life forward, but we only understand it backwards. So yes, it's only when you look back that you get things in perspective. But I mean, in the early days for me, it was just a curious kid who was just making. I was just a curious kid who was making music. I was trying to understand the softwares. I knew I picked up rap music. I knew I was passionate about it. You know, and like most people, yes, I tried to be in the choir, but did not stay very.
You walk like Beyonce's.
No. I was like, no. But yeah, there was that part, and then I think I also struggled a lot with my identity as a person, and I mean that in terms of my faith. You know, at some point I would, you know, just initially just make music that you would term gospel. Later on, I'll run away from it. Later on, I'm like, okay, you know what, it's not that bad. Later I'm like, oh no, you know. So I had like a lot of. It took me a while to process, you know, who I was and what was my role in this world. And while that was happening, I tried my hands on a few things. I had, you know, from rap battling to acting. I did a few things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I was an actor. Yeah, you know, so I just don't, you know, act like I act. See the wordplay there, but
you see,
but it was fun. Even though I guess I ran away because I was tired of the audition processes. Nigeria, it's stressful. And I feel like a lot of, you know, producers were really taking the piss. They really would just keep you under the sun. It was not very comfortable, and I had to ask myself, if I was going to suffer this much, what would I rather suffer for? And I preferred music, so I was like, all right, give me my suffer. Let's go that way.
Let's go that way.
But yeah, that's what happened.
That's really what has been happening. So what would be your advice out there for you know, upcoming fast rising creatives, those who are still looking up to you and others that are coming up in their crafts?
Man, this sounds simple, but it's true. Stay true to the art, man. Everything else that you think you know is a lie. It's not worth it. It's one big loop. The industry, it doesn't end, and you can lose yourself very quickly. So whether you're chasing money or fame, and maybe if you're not thinking you're chasing it, once you get a taste of it, you can get distracted very quickly. So figure out what it is that you think you want to do. Stay true to that. Just create. Be honest with yourself where you are, and if you are actively communicating yourself as a Christian artist, be honest with your own process through it all, because you will go through it. Your faith will be tested. Life will happen. I'm sure. Like I think one of the biggest things that I had to deal with was grief. Losing my mom was something that I couldn't have planned for, and I had a lot of things in between where we trusted God for some things that we believed didn't work out how we wanted, and it took a huge stab at my faith. So that whole process, being able to deal with it, is something you have to also be open to accept. It might not be that for most people. It could be something else. Life has a way of, you know, customizing your struggles. You take your measurement and I'll say, okay,
this is for you.
This one is your size. They'll be very fitted. But you know, yeah, I say that playfully, but I mean that very honestly. So if I was to give anybody any piece of advice, stay true to the art. Everything else would sort itself out.
So what are the platforms that can reach you?
Social media, Eclipse Nkasi. Want to stream my music? Eclipse Nkasi. It's everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, Boomplay, Audiomack, SoundCloud.
Alright, it's a wrap, people. I'm Drakare about the Gospel Freak, and that's it on Unstoppable Media 247 with Eclipse. Out.
Name's Eclipse. This is what it is. Reckless. 1, 2.